So my name is Skeeter Buck, and I am a publisher at Night River Press and the co-author of a children's book. It was my very first book that I published, and it actually ended up winning some national awards. So I felt like I hit gold. And a lot of times, as a publisher or as a writer, people will ask you, how do you get started writing a book? Um, so I'll just share with you a little bit of my personal journey. So um, I had a 5-year-old son who was getting ready to start kindergarten, and I took a year off with my wife before we started down that 12-year journey of school. And in that year, I wanted to do something that was going to be meaningful, that was going to scare me to death, which is one of the commitments I have on a yearly basis. Try to do something new that's going to scare me to death, that I have to lean into. And I didn't want to have to go back to college to get another degree. So I was pondering about that. And when you write a book, it's really important to have obviously some kind of inspiration, some obsession around your inspiration. And what I found when I was reflecting on that is that I was falling in love with watching my son learn how to read. And I thought this could be a great experience. I could write a children's book while taking this year off with my son who was learning how to read. And that was my inspiration. I didn't think I had what it took, but I didn't care because I didn't think I was going to actually publish it. I just wanted to write it. So I got started with writing it. And the other inspiration that came from that is Halloween was coming up, and my wife and I are pretty healthy eaters, and we were trying to figure out how to get rid of premeditated this candy that was going to come from our 5-year-old son, who was the only kid in the neighborhood for trick or treat, and all the neighbors wanted him to come over. So we created this story called The Toothless Fairy. So we had this plan that when our son came home, we would tell him the story about the Toothless Fairy, and we would have him take some of his candy, and we would help him write a note. And the Toothless Fairy would magically come at night and would take this candy away. And when I woke up the next morning, I realized that was the inspiration for my book, my award-winning children's picture book. So off we started. And, you know, another thing that people ask you is like, where did you get your talent for writing? And I didn't have talent for writing. I had a master's degree. I knew how to research. I didn't really think I knew how to write, but I didn't know unless I tried. So here were the first words that came out for me in this children's picture book. There once was a fairy with extraordinary sorts, her skin old and saggy, her face full of warts. That was my first paragraph, or my first sentence. And from there, we just kept writing and writing and writing and rewriting. And at the end of this process, it took 18 months. I had a children's picture book with some amazing graphics, and that's my story.